Right, hello everyone, my name's Cal Singh Dinser. It's a great honour to be here today. I'm from Derby, as you may have guessed, and I'm guessing most folk here are from Derby as well, most of you. Maybe not, okay, fair enough. I know 2 people are from Nottingham. Fair enough. That's all. 3? Ah, good. Right, okay.
Good.
Right, yeah, I've met Ben before, so it's great to be here. I found out that this event was happening through a post from Panya on Facebook, and because I've been with Ben on stage before, and I have been on stage with Panya before in relation to poems. Obviously, I'm not used to this. I thought it'd be great to be here and share. I've just told it like that.
That's this one.
I thought it'd be great to be here today and share a few of my poems. Now, I'm not going to be too long, but the poems I'm going to read from are from my collected edition of poetry from this edition here, Poetry Ram. Now, there's about 91 poems in here. Now, I won't be reading them all. No, honestly, I'll be reading about 6 or 7. They're all very short, and it's a collected edition that is collected from these 3 here: Poetry Rambler, Poetry Rampage, and Poetry Rampart. So all these poems are in this collected edition here. Now, when I found out about this event, I asked the people who were organising it what the theme was. And they said the event itself is called the Departure Lounge. And so travel is something that you could look into. So I thought, okay, I better, think about some poems that I could share in relation to travel. Now, the vast majority of my poems are about journeys, are about travelling. Beginnings, middles, ends, journeys through time and space. There are many poems about my upbringing, my culture, my identity, my faith, and so on, the team I support. So the poems I've chosen today kind of represent that. So like I said, they're not very long, they're quite short, and I'll read through 6 of them that are from this book, and then one I wrote only about a week and a half ago. And the reason I'm going to share it today is because only a few days ago there was a story in the news about a legendary World War II codebreaker who, it has been revealed, whose face will be on the new £50 note. Not that I'll ever see one, but anyway, I wanted to share that poem in tribute to him and others like him. So the first poem I'm going to start with is a poem about a football player. And the reason I'm reciting this poem is that this football player, I share a great deal with him, as you will see. It's called An Abode to Alf Quantrill. English blood, Punjabi heart, the boy from Rawalpindi to England depart. Signed by Derby County in 1914, Division 1 promotion in 1915. A call to arms, Derbyshire yeomanry, struck down with malaria, sent back to Blighty. Capped by England in 1920. In the footsteps of a legend in law to be. Steve Bloomer of England and Derby County, the father of Hetty, Mrs. Quantrill to be. First of the Punjabi Rams of Derby, Alf Quantrill's abode, the boy from Rawalpindi. That's that one. Thank you. So obviously, he's a Punjabi like me, although his parents were English. But he played for Derby County, he played for England, and he later became the son-in-law of a legendary Derby County footballer who is also a great hero of mine, Steve Bloomer, who is a big character in my story, My Father and the Lost Legend of Testery, which is a story about the death of my father by suicide about 13 years ago, and my quest to find happiness in myself. And anyway, check that book out on Amazon. Right, next poem is called X-Hibition. It's about a friend of mine and his son, who are both artists in Derby artists. Well, the son is, and he's a very famous one. And I wanted to pay tribute to this artist, but I also, because I'm from Derby, I wanted to pay tribute to the other great artists from Derby and Derbyshire. So here we go. X-Hibition. Wright, Townsend, Adnams, Knight, Keane and Gresley, artists from Derbyshire and Derby. The best the town and city has ever produced. Exceptional in their field, fine art connoisseurs, seduced. Masters of landscape and portraiture, mistresses of surrealism and impressionist nature. Candle-lit subjects, contrasts light and dark, chiaroscuro oscuro effect, right, put down his mark. Another great artist to add to the list, Liam Roger Sharp of Derby, comic book specialist. So that's that one, about a poem about Liam Sharp and the other great artist from Derby. Liam Sharp is the guy behind, he recently did Batman, Wonder Woman and the Green Lantern. So that's that one. Next one is called Impossible, or I'm Possible. It's about a legendary Sikh physicist. I'm British born of Sikh origin myself, so I've also got a physics degree. So I just wanted to share this one with you. Impossible, or I'm Possible. Born to a Sikh family in 1926, the Mogha-born Punjabi physicist, the father of fibre optics, the creator of a glass wire that transports light, a means of transmitting information, an invention transforming life, paving the way for modern telecommunication. A physics genius who achieved the possible, the bending of light, which he was told was impossible. Narinder Singh Kapani, the one who arrived first at the goal to show, the revolutionary Sikh scientist who opened the door for others to follow. Thank you. Okay, the next one is a bit of a companion piece. It's another scientist, another Sikh scientist. He's actually from these parts. Well, he is now, he lives there. He lives around the corner from me, actually. It's called Akaal, a senior research fellow at Bangor University who improved food security to tackle poverty, targeting poor marginal farmers, cultivating poor quality soil, developing new rice varieties, producing thousands of tons of seeds resistant to spoil, resulting in farmers harvesting a whole lot more grain of much better quality and easier to sustain. Increased food production helping alleviate destitution, chickpea, maize, teff and wheat through genetic modification. Dr. Daljit Singh Virk, OBE, the Tapiala-born Punjabi biologist who now lives in Derby, a globally renowned geneticist, plant breeder and chair of governors at Akaal Primary, a revolutionary Sikh scientist who followed in the footsteps of Narinder Singh Kapani. That's that one. Thank you. Right, only two more. Right, the next one is called Where Beagles Dare. Again, it's about a scientist. I was actually a student at the University of Leicester, where he too was a scientist, and later I did a Master's of Science with the Open University. Again, he was a professor there as well. And this particular scientist, sadly, he passed away before his greatest achievement was fully acknowledged. And I wanted to pay tribute to that. So it's called Where Beagles Dare. A 2003 astrobiology mission searching for past life on the shallow surface of Mars. The British Mars lander, transported by ESA's Mars Express mission, sets a course for the stars. Conceived by a group of British academics headed by Professor Colin Pillinger from the Open University in collaboration with the University of Leicester. Scheduled to land on the 25th of December, but no contact is received when the expected landing is to occur. After numerous attempts are made to contact the spacecraft and further explore, the ESA declare the mission lost in February 2004. Professor Pillinger receives a torrent of unfair criticism and ridicule over the lost lander until his premature passing in May 2014. Professors David Barnes and George Fraser from the University of Leicester also having departed in the same year project overseen. A few months later, a glinting object casting no shadows is located on the surface of Mars, stuck in a crater. In a series of images taken from the high-rise camera on NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, the pictures of the probe finally prove that it did touch down, thus vindicating Colin Trevor Pillinger, CBE, FRS. The Beagle 2 had landed, and the history books rewritten to show that the mission to Mars was indeed a success. Thank you. Right, finally, as I said, the reason I'm including this poem called Testery is that last week it was revealed that Alan Turing would be the face on the new £50 note. The Bletchley Park code breakers of World War II are great heroes of mine. I've written a poem in the past about another Derby headmaster that was involved in the code breaking, and I always wanted to write one about 3 of my greatest heroes, and another man called Jerry. Jerry was a friend of mine on social media until he passed away about 5 years ago. So this poem is for Jerry and all the code breakers. It's called Testery. Captain Raymond C. Roberts, MBE, the Latimer Upper School alumni who came to be known as Jerry of Bletchley, a wartime linguist and leading code breaker on the cryptanalysis of the Nazi Lorenz cipher. Tunny, Hitler's most secret code system to break, more impenetrable than Enigma, impossible to crack, make no mistake. The cracking of the naval Enigma meant Britain did not lose the war in 41. The breaking of Lorenz shortened the war in Europe by at least 2 years when won. Alan Turing assured that the Allies would not be defeated. Bill Tutt ensured absolute victory was completed. The world's first large-scale electronic, digital, programmable computers, the legacy of Colossus, designed and built by Tommy Flowers. Captain Jerry Roberts campaigned till his end to recognise the Bletchley Park resistance, eventually bestowing thanks to all having honoured their assistance. Thank you.